Hey guys, and welcome to scripting tutorial number 4 in this skill series. So in this tutorial, before starting anything, I forgot that there is a thing called Ipairs, and that's basically pretty much really simple, like Ipairs loop. So I could just show you. So the main difference is that, as you can see, I have a table. Whoa, stop highlighting things because it's a bit dangerous. So I have an array or a table and some kind of random values: 999, script.parent, nil, and your mom. Because why not, of course. So what Ipairs do? So first of all, let's just do this in pairs. So we wanna do this in pairs, this loop. So yeah, and we're gonna just do basic stuff with it. And now let's just see. If I press run, it should print 1, which is 999, 2, which is workspace, because script.parent its parent is workspace right here, as you can see, and your mom, because it's the string. And as you can see, there is no third one. However, what does the Ipairs loop do? If it finds a nil value, it just breaks. So yeah, basically if nil, then break. Basically the same thing. So if it finds a nil value, or maybe not like that, if v equals nil, that's a bit more. That's a bit better explanation. So yeah, that's basically what it does. Ipairs loop. So if v is nil, then it breaks. That is basically embedded in this one word. So it would be a lot easier, of course. And if we did this, it should print 1 and 2, but not 4, as you can see, because the third one was a nil value, and it found that it's nil, and it broke. So there's no really difference between them, unless this one. So yeah, you can use both ones if you use get children function, if you wanna get this all those things in the workspace or something. About remote events and remote functions. So first of all, I'm gonna just tell you before everything starts. It will be a bit hard maybe to understand, and it would be a bit longer. Trust me or not, I don't know. So first of all, how do you wanna use it? I recommend you to put, first of all, obviously we need yeah, it's the replicated storage. We need to insert an object. First of all, I'm gonna explain how does that works. So assuming let's just check this box, because it's necessary to do that, because any hacker could just come into the server and hack, and get us all the money, 100,000, and be filthy rich in the server and break the server and that bad things. Well, one of those people are probably me, just saying. So yeah. How does that work? First of all, there is like a huge barrier between server and clients. Server, when player enters the game, server replicates all that stuff in the client, and it's probably in the player section. So yeah, and then everything gets replicated. If player has some kind of a hacking system or something, and assuming filtering is enabled, and he tries to like get the B tools, and then he tries to move the parts, if filtering is disabled, or just this box isn't checked, then that update gets into the server, and there is literally no barrier between server and client, you know. But if this box is checked, there is one. And sometimes it's hard to do stuff with clients and servers from clients and vice versa. So that's why we have remote events and functions. So yeah, how does that work? It just makes like a backdoor where server can communicate with clients and vice versa. So let's just look how does that work. First of all, I'll probably insert a local script in the starter GUI, but you can probably insert it anywhere. Where is it? I'm blind. There are so many items. Oh, here it is. So yeah, we're just gonna delete that. So yeah, it's just called client. And if you don't know what is a client, it's basically everything that you can see on your screen, and it's a player thingy. So workspace. First of all, I wanna tell you which services are from server. So basically every single one except the one which is like a folder. Those three ones, and I believe replicated first, and players are the client services, and every single well, all of the other ones are server ones, especially the server storage, and client literally cannot access the server storage by any means, so it's really safe to put stuff in here. Workspace is kinda in between. It's like a client service and a server service, because both things can access it. Well, basically the same thing goes for everything, I believe. I don't know, but so let's just go back on topic. Remote events. Well, it's really hard to explain sometimes things. So yeah, where's my event? So this one. How you script it? First of all, you need to reach via script this remote event from two sides, from server side and from client side. So this is the server backdoor. So how do you do it? It's script. No, not script. Game, and then replicated storage. There are a lot of services, you know. But we need replicated storage, and some of them are hidden, of course. And then dot test. And then we have some kind of thing. So you can just fire client, fire server. There are events. So how it works, on the client side, if you want to fire it from server to client, you either use fire all clients or fire client. But you need to address the client which you want to fire. So yeah, on the client side, if you wanna fire from client to server, write game dot replicated storage dot test in this example, and then column fire server or client. Nah, you need to fire server. Yeah. Or if you wanna access it from server, you write from server to client. I mean, you need to write on. Wait. There is an event maybe. Dot on client event or on server event. That means when it gets fired. So I think I'm gonna fire from client. So now we need to do like this. Fire server. Fire! Boom 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 boom. Cannonballs are everywhere. And then we need to detect it. Well, technically you can use only one remote event or function for every single thing, but you need a lot of arguments. So yeah, and then we write on client event, and then connect, and you know what I'm going to say next. Function, and then brackets. I think we're gonna zoom out like that. So Assuming you did that, we could just print like um hello from the other side, like that. I know it's funny, but it's literally server says that. So yeah, and so because that's a function. What happens when you just write this command column? So you just made a custom event, I guess, and you might pass some arguments maybe. For example, it's sometimes useful to just write player because you cannot access player from server. So player equals, well, that's usual, game dot layers dot local player. I know it's kinda tricky to understand, but well, maybe it's not that tricky. But um people usually pass some arguments when they use the remote events. Well, you don't need to do that. And we gonna just print also. You need arguments right here. PLR maybe. I think this works also. And then PLR. And then strings. Wait. I think we need then to do is to string like that. To string like this, and then the bracket. And yeah, now we need to concatenate and just write player like so, and everything should work. Well, you could just make a button, for example, but I don't wanna do stuff with GUI because it kinda gets a bit tricky. So obviously we need a player. That's obvious. And I believe we did not do anything because maybe because a player didn't got loaded or something. So we could just add a wait command, like 4 seconds, and then just play it. It's because it's not on client event, that's on server event. Yeah, that was my mistake, I guess. Because if there is a word server right here, you need a server word right here. That's obvious. And if you, for example, fire client from the server, you will need on client event right here. So, well, or vice versa. And if we did this, it should work. Maybe. Let's wait. Yes, it does work. Now, of course, I didn't do the space, but I hope I don't get copyrighted. Probably not. Okay, so yeah, let's try to fire from the client side. So, what we're gonna do is, first of all, probably gonna copy this thing, Control C, and then I'm just gonna leave it in the clipboard, and then just delete everything and this end, and then we're gonna fire client. Of course, I cannot fire the client because I don't know who should I fire, so I'm just gonna fire all clients. And as you saw, there is a tuple thing, so that's basically arguments that you wanna pass through. And now we need to do this right here. On client event, and then connect function like that. And now we see that we gonna wait. We just paste my stuff. Yeah. Also we need an end because that's obvious to end the function. And we have the player. Well, we might need some other arguments. For example, lel, because I'm gonna add some random values, just because to show you that it does work, and it works really cool. and then just a couple strings, hi, maybe, and then it should say player hi, maybe. Of course we need to wait a bit, and after 4 seconds, yeah, player hi, because there was it's not a player, it's an argument actually that we passed through, and that's pretty cool. Remote function or remote events are really cool. Now I'm gonna show you how to use remote functions. So remote functions are kinda similar to remote events, but the main difference is that remote functions let me just show you how to use them first of all. So we just call it again test, well maybe test 1, and then this from the server obviously, and then we just write not script game dot replicated storage. By the way, I'm probably a bit used too much to write script dot parent, you know, but test 1 and then we have, I think it's fire, no it doesn't have fire, it doesn't burn, it has invoke, you can't invoke all clients, that's the thing. And yeah, and from the client is like game dot replicate storage dot test 1 and then oh no, I believe they have let's try from the client on client invoke, I believe, no, on server, and then we connect the function obviously, and then just do like that, and we have a nice function. And from the client side we probably do column invoke server, and then probably, and that's probably pretty much it, probably the same thing, but I'm gonna just show you that it does wait, and that previous just remote event doesn't wait. So yeah, what we can do, probably print something, but this remote event or function is not limited to printing, just saying. I'm just gonna say hi, and then invoke server, and let's just print right here, print hello from the client side. You probably get this, don't you? Assuming I didn't do mistakes. Oh, of course. Wait, what? So you probably didn't notice, but that took a bit to figure out how does the remote events work, because apparently I'm not familiar to them, and I'll use remote functions. I'm not familiar with remote functions, but remote events are, well, I know how to use them, but functions, no. So it's pretty tricky, because I didn't notice that you can't connect them, because this function is like a special function called callback, and it calls back. So this and if you probably noticed, it said in that error bar you cannot get the value, so you cannot use connect, you can only set the value. That's what it meant. And this equal sign is the mathematical, notation which in scripting sets the value. So that's what causes problems. So now everything is correct. And function is kind of like something like a table, maybe. Well, I don't wanna make you confused, but it's something similar actually, but it's a block of code. You could get it like that, but it's value at the same time. And as you can see, I wanted to show you that it waits, and as you saw, it does wait. Because wait, I just was looking into stuff why it didn't work. So yeah, now we know how to use remote functions. So it just says this value, this one on server invoke. That means when you just tell this thing, wake up, server, wake up, we need to fire this thing. And you do this from client, obviously. And when client wakes up the server thing, which is this thing, it prints all those stuffs. So that's really useful sometimes. But I prefer remote events. I don't know why. You could use both of them if you feel comfortable. And let's try to do the same thing with client. On client, like so. Assuming I didn't misspell everything, but of course I need to just move this into client, like so. And then I just gonna click you, and then just do like that, but invoke client. And now, well, it would be the wrong message, but oh wait, oh, I do know. When you invoke from client, it's something different because first you need the argument, which is invoke client, and first argument is obviously always a player. So, or no, wait. Yeah, it's from server error. So we probably need to pass an argument, I believe. Oh yeah, that's because there is one argument, and if we leave this blank, and leave this blank, it should say, "Wait, why is there a warning?" It's weird. Probably a bug, or that's because I fixed the warning. No, don't know. And it still says oh, which means we probably need an argument. Oh, I know. It's because we need to choose a client. So we just try like this, cause it should work. And then just do PLR. It's yeah. Wait. Now it's something wrong again. Oh, we probably need the object value. What if I do like this? Game.players. And then those brackets. Does that work? Yeah, as you can see, I am. Oh, yeah, right. Of course, you need to wait for it. Yeah. Wait, not V5. Wait 5. And then we should see that it works. Or not, of course. Oh. That's because I need to add the wait command right there. Let's just not do 5. Let's just do 2.5. So we don't need to wait a lot. And now it should work. Assuming everything is loaded. And after yes. And wait, I believe you need to target a client when you fire the function, but when you fire the event, well, not fire, invoke. When you invoke a function, you need to choose the client, and if you use it from client, it's a bit different than from server, unlike the remote events. So yeah, that's probably the case why am I using events more than functions. And by saying more, I only use events. I don't know why. It's just the way I am. And I hope you guys enjoyed this really long tutorial as promised. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.